The first time I ever brought a dog to sheep, I thought, this is going to be fun. It was a clinic, and my well-behaved, obedient dog, Rebel, who really knew how to do a lot of stuff, made a bit of a fool of me, and it really didn't go well. Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I think one of the things that a lot of beginners don't realize, and I certainly didn't at the time, was that obedience isn't instinct. Instinct isn't obedience. And this is where things kind of fell apart for me in my very first clinic as my dog Rebel chased the sheep, gripped, and it really didn't go very smoothly. Everyone feels overwhelmed when they first start with herding. I know I sure did. There's a lot going on. It's quite chaotic. And you're dealing with 3 species here. So yourself, the dog, and say the sheep. So it's busy. Your dog's kind of bossing you around. They seem to know what you're doing a bit. And it takes a little bit of time. I think what most beginners don't realize is that herding isn't about obedience. It's actually about the livestock, how they move, how they react to the dog, and how those pressures can influence the movement of the stock. In that, of course, we have to start to understand what the dog's actually doing and why, and also how to start implementing actual commands into this process. So these kind of steps, and if you have an organized kind of process in doing it, it makes it a lot easier. I know that I wish I had something like this when I first started, because it would have helped me from being a lot less confused. One myth about herding too is that you need to grow up on a farm. Well, that's great. I actually grew up in the city though, but you do need to make a commitment to understand the livestock. That's a big part of it. So how they move, why they're moving, and that's one of the things that we'll be looking at in this series. Another bit of myth is that you have to own livestock in order to train a herding dog. Well, yes, it's optimal if you do have some livestock. It's not reality for many people that I know I work with. So they do have to make kind of a commitment to travel to somewhere that has livestock that will allow them to say work their sheep for a bit. So that is something that you do have to look at if you're serious into herding. Now, progress over perfection is super important. So one of those things that we're going to have to do is just get out there and get going. Take that first step and start to understand a little bit more about herding and how it works. Your first sessions aren't going to look perfect, but remember, herding's more of a journey, I would say, than a performance. Your job is to really just try to stay calm if possible, curious and open to learning some new ideas. I'm really glad that you're here to join me on this journey. Remember, this series is designed to help you not feel overwhelmed or judged when you get going on your herding journey. Next up is going to be all about balance. So just remember to subscribe so you can get notified and find out what's up next in the series.